If you're buying a home and not negotiating the right way, you're missing out and potentially walking away from thousands of dollars. So in this video, I will show you how to master the art of negotiation so you can buy with confidence, strategy, and secure the best real estate deal. So over the past 14 years, my team and I have helped more than 500 families successfully navigate the home buying process. And in fact, some deals were so good that I don't even know if I can talk about it publicly. Before we get into this, I want to say this. Since about 2012, for the most part, the real estate market has been riding a nice wave until this year. And because of that, nobody really cared about learning how to negotiate in a real estate deal. You didn't really have to because almost every listing sold fast and everyone kind of figured out that the market was recovering after the 2008 crash. So as long as you bought a home during that period, you were confident that it would be worth more year after year. That has now changed and houses aren't selling the way they used to. I'm not going to get into the reasons why. In fact, I just recently made a video about that. And if you're interested, I will provide a link for that at the end of this video. But the fact is that more than 50% of homes that are listed for sale in the Sacramento area have had at least one price reduction or have been relisted. So as the housing inventory continues to grow, more homes are chasing fewer buyers. While this is bad news for sellers, it's an opportunity for home buyers. Okay, so you might say, rates are still high. How is this an opportunity? I promise, I will explain, and by the end of this video, you'll see why. But think of it this way. Buyers have more leverage when there are more homes available with fewer buyers chasing them. It's pretty much simple supply and demand principle. Well, not too long ago, I remember when homes were, as they say, flying off the shelves. And there was no time for buyers to drag their feet. And if you did, you missed out. But now it's different. So if it's true that buyers now have more leverage, and it is true, then that means they can negotiate in a way that was almost impossible before. It all starts with being aware and understanding the market. I see so many sellers right now who are not aware of this shift, and they list their homes way above market value simply because they don't realize that the market has changed. They end up wasting time and then chasing the market down with multiple price reductions. The same goes for buyers. If you don't understand the current market climate, then you won't be taking advantage of the leverage that you currently have. And remember, all it takes is a small dip in mortgage rates and then it's a seller's market all over again. The second important factor is you must know exactly what you can afford and your desired monthly payment, what your down payment will be, and what neighborhood you want to buy in. We typically help our buyers narrow down the search so that we aren't wasting precious time looking at homes in areas that won't fit the buyer's lifestyle. The more prepared and specific you are, the better your results will be. Now, here's something that many buyers don't know. And trust me, we had to learn this the hard way. So just as price is important to the seller, sometimes terms are even more important than the price. Very often, if the seller lives in the house that they're selling, they may need a seller rent back, which can mean an additional 2 or 4 weeks to move out after closing escrow. I remember when we've had a seller accept a lower priced offer just because the buyer was willing to give the seller 2 months rent back, which removed so much stress from the seller. And that is why this next strategy is so critical, but unfortunately, most buyers and the realtor completely miss it. So let's say you're a buyer and you have found the home that you like and you are ready to write the offer. Before you do, you should learn as much as possible about the seller, their motivation level, how long the house has been on the market, and what is important to them besides the price. You'd be surprised how often it's not just about the price. But of course, you can't just go knock on the seller's door and start asking them these questions. That is what your realtor is for. And it's their job to do this for you. The more information that they can extract, the more leverage you have to craft a strong offer. Again, remember, in a seller's market, when demand is high and supply is low, you don't really have time to do this because the house may be gone tomorrow. But right now, you can and should do this. Earlier, I mentioned that it's not always just about the price for sellers, and the same goes for buyers. Since mortgage rates have gone up, many buyers have been priced out of the homes they want because what really matters to them isn't really the list price, it's the monthly payment. So for example, if a $2 million home came with a $2,000 monthly payment, affordability would not feel like such an issue, right? It's the payment, not the price, that drives the decision. That's why today's biggest challenge isn't really home prices, it's the interest rates. Once sellers understand this, they often realize that dropping their price by, let's say, $20,000 may only lower the buyer's monthly payment by around $80 or $100. But using that same amount to maybe buy down the buyer's mortgage rate, that can have a much bigger impact on their affordability. So remember, at the beginning of this video, when I said that even in today's market with higher interest rates, there are still opportunities for buyers, well, this is exactly what I meant. Of course, every situation is different, and it's important to talk to your mortgage planner about what's possible. And if you are a buyer, this could give you a real edge when you negotiate. While other buyers are submitting lowball offers, you can structure yours in a way that's both appealing to the seller and beneficial to you. Making a winning deal in this market takes creativity, strategy, and knowing your options before making a move. And one more thing, when choosing a realtor, make sure they know how to negotiate on your behalf, how to fight for you. This business is a lot more than just opening doors and writing contracts. It's about solving problems, overcoming challenges, and getting the results that you deserve. So when you're interviewing an agent, ask them about the recent deals. How did they handle tough situations? It will give you insight into whether they're fighting for you or just chasing their next commission check. Every transaction is different, but understanding the principles in this video will help you become a smarter, more confident negotiator in your home search. All right, if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who might benefit as well. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.